All right, hello and welcome to another in our series on modes. If you've been keeping up even with all the videos, we're now up to mode number 5 or scale number 5. It's called the Mixolydian, and it's probably the most often used of all the modes after your major and minor scales. A lot of players, particularly rock and blues players and stuff, use this scale without even realizing it sometimes. It's used a lot in Celtic music. It's used a lot in Indian music as well, or at least I find it's used quite a lot in that. So let's go through it and see what we think. All right, so we're going to do it in G this time because that's our 5th note. You know, we've had C major, we've had D Dorian, we've had E Phrygian. Last time we had the F Lydian, and now we're going to have the G Mixolydian. Just doing that made me think of there you go. There's a fine example of the Mixolydian. Used in things like Sweet Home Alabama, Sweet Child of Mine, Werewolves in London, that sort of thing. Anything where you get like the major chord, if we were doing it in G, go into another major chord, a tone below, that sort of thing, and then, you know, your 4th chord or whatever. So like... that sort of thing, right? Or just, you know, going... that kind of idea. So it has, in essence, its flavour is made by what's known as the flattened 7th. So normally, again, in the key of G, if we were doing it in G, we would have, G major would have F sharp in it, but we're going to put F in, and that's, you know, like that, okay? And it's that note that gives you the sound of the Mixolydian, along with the major 3rd, okay? Because you do hear the flattened 7th, the minor 7th as well, if you want to hear it, in the minor scale. But this is a flattened or minor 7th with a major sound. So you get like, you know, dominant 7th chords, like G7 or C7, D7, that sort of thing. They're built from this mode as such. That sort of thing. Hopefully we're not going to get too many copyright hits on this. So, you know. I love it for that sort of thing where we play like the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th. That sort of thing, all right? So we're going to play you an example in a minute using the chords of G, G7, C, and F, that sort of thing, all right? And you can see what you think of it. Now, Tony Wilson asked a couple of questions, which I should answer before we go any further. And that was, one, do I think in modes when I'm playing, or do I just instinctively sort of play along with things? And the answer is a little bit of both, Tony, unfortunately. If I'm trying to write a piece in a particular style, quite often I'll think, oh, well, I'll use, like, for instance, the Phrygian mode. You know, if I'm trying to do a Spanish. that sort of thing. I should have played that G sharp there, but anyways, you know what I mean? Or if I was doing like a Latin-y thing, I might play something in the Dorian. Or like last week, the sort of Joe Satriani, and if somebody says, can you play like Joe Satriani? Or can you write something in the style of a Satriani kind of piece? You know, putting that in is going to make it immediately sound like Satriani. But other times I'll just think, oh, you know, this is a nice chord sequence, and I'll play it, and then, you know, you realise it's in the Mixolydian or the Lydian or the whatever, or some other mode. So it's a bit of both, you know, and when you're just playing, when you're just letting the music flow, as it were, sort of thing, obviously you're not really, or I'm not anyways, thinking, oh, I'll stick the G Mixolydian in here, and then I'm going to go to the A Aeolian or whatever. And that answers your next question, hopefully, which is, can you go between the different modes? And the answer is yes, you can. You can do that. Doesn't always happen, but a lot of, certainly jazz fusion and stuff like that uses it a lot. And, you know, some of the more complex sort of pop music and stuff like that from back in the day, or rock music and stuff, would have occasionally moved from one mode to another. And hopefully at the end of this little series for this month, I'll do a little video where we're going through different modes and we're playing through those modes, and we'll see, right? Because obviously you can play everything. You could play C major, C Dorian, C Mixolydian, C Lydian, C Phrygian. At the minute we're going up in notes of the major scale to give you the idea that it's all really just the same scale moved up and down, but it gives you different feels. All right, so anyways, back on track. This is a little piece that I've done in the key of G, and it's the Mixolydian scale. Remember, the Mixolydian has a flattened 7th note, which in the key of G is F. If you're in the key of C, it would be B flat. It's 2 semitones below your root note. Okay, so whatever your root note is, if you're in A, it'll be a G. If you're in E, it's a D. If you're in E flat, it's a C sharp or whatever. Yeah, so see what you can come up with. And here's the exam. As ever, thanks for listening and watching, and ask questions if you have. We've got 2 more modes to go. Hopefully we'll get them all fitted in, and then we'll do a best of at the end sort of thing. All right, thanks again. Enjoy the demo.